Pine Island will soon be home to a data center. Google is the owner. It's just the latest chapter in this new frontier dividing communities across our country. Here's Sammy.
For months, Rodney and Joyce Lanners have been researching everything they can about data centers since they heard one may be coming to town.
I could get the whole pile down here if you wanted to see the whole pile.
They didn't like what they found.
You got all the environmental impact of that. You got electricity.
And on Tuesday, it was finally confirmed that Google was behind the massive data center project. Xcel Energy says it will power the facility.
Google will pay for those resources for the Google data center. And so customers will be wholly protected and insulated from rate impacts from this data center.
Jack Eiley, vice president of data centers for Xcel Energy, says there will be advanced air cooling on site.
So it is nothing like the levels of water usage that some data centers have.
They're looking at expanding capacity, energy capacity to about 2 gigawatts. And much of that, if not all of that, is proposed to be green energy.
John Weissman with the U is an expert in large computer systems. He says green energy is likely to entice a community like Pine Island into having them.
Of course, the downside of this is the environmental impact needs to be looked at.
But David Tu, another expert at the U, says residents have a right to be concerned about a data center in their backyard.
Our house is less than a half a mile. Straight up to the east.
The Minnesota Center for Environmental Advocacy filed a lawsuit against the city and the project's developer, Ryan Companies, alleging the environmental review was inadequate. A court date is scheduled for April.
We wanted to stay there the rest of our lives after being here for 53 years, but we're already talking about moving.
The Lanners are concerned big tech is already taking advantage of their little town, pointing to an abatement passed by city leaders earlier this month.
You gave that to a $4 trillion company. They don't need it.
While city leaders say that money will come back to the community, the Lanners worry it's all moving too fast.
We're not ready for them.
Xcel says the next step will be taking contracts to the Minnesota Public Utilities Commission. Google declined a request for an interview, but said in a press release that this will help them expand their AI and cloud capabilities. Jana.
Would Google say anything in that release about hiring people, creating jobs in Pine Island? What's the benefit for Pine Island?
Yeah, experts say that there should be jobs, of course, construction, which are temporary, but around 100 jobs will be created. But I think residents are worried about who will fill those jobs, if it will be residents themselves or if people will come to town, if they'll live there. There's all these questions fluttering in their minds.
All right, well, we'll keep checking on that one. Thank you so much.